I'm Holly and welcome to my channel, Holly Go Read. Today I'm going to be adding some books to my shelves, as you can see by all the empty spots. I rearranged everything to fit my new books that I ordered. So this is kind of a haul slash TBR of all the books that I got from Amazon and thrift books, most of them from thrift books. So let's go ahead and dive on in there. So what I'm going to do is give a brief synopsis of each book and kind of say why I'm excited about it. Yeah, let's dive on in. First book on my list is To Be Honest by Maggie Ann Martin. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about this book yet, so I don't really know what I'm in for. I do know that it is about a girl named Savannah, aka Savvy. The story with her is her sister, who's also her best friend, has just gone off to college. So she's at home alone with her mom for the first time, and her mom has just competed on an extreme weight loss television show and is kind of giving Savvy a hard time about her weight. So I think I'm in for kind of an interesting, read here. I really am pretty excited about this. Love on the back, it says, "Newsflash, fat is not a bad word." So I'm definitely anticipating some serious body positivity vibes, which anybody who knows me knows I am here for. So yeah, really excited about this. It's number one on my TBR right now. Really excited about this one. Next up on my list is Things I Should Have Known by Claire Lazebnik. So this book deals with autism, kind of indirectly, I would say. It's mainly a love story. Chloe has a sister named Ivy, this is her older sister. She's autistic, and Chloe, I think, kind of decides that Ivy, is lonely, or observes that Ivy is lonely, I should say, and tries to set her up with another autistic boy in Ivy's class named Ethan, and involves Ethan's brother David to help her with this setup. So I think the premise is going to be that while setting those two up, Chloe and David also start falling in love. They bond over that mutual understanding of what it's like to have a sibling with autism. I'm very interested to see how autism is handled here. Something very near and dear to my heart. My fiance's brother is autistic, so I hope I can recommend this in saying that it portrays and handles autism well. Next up on my list, this one I really don't have very high expectations of. It just looked cute, and that is P.S. I Like You by Casey West. I'm kind of anticipating a very cotton candy, just fun, nothing serious kind of YA contemporary here. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think sometimes we need a good palate cleanser of just fluff. So essentially, the story here is that Lily, Lily starts writing some lyrics on her desk, and the next time she goes to class, somebody has continued the lyrics. So I think it's kind of these two writing a love song together and not really knowing who either one is. So yeah, it just sounds fun. I'm just anticipating a fun time. Next up is actually not a YA, and that is Marriage Vacation by Pauline Turner Brooks. So this is ghostwritten. This is not actually written by Pauline Turner Brooks, as she is a fictional character in the show on TV Land, Younger. So if you haven't watched Younger, this is essentially, in the show, it is a wife who's left her husband. She goes on this marriage vacation, and she writes the book as a way to kind of get her husband back. Yeah. Yeah. I'm interested. I'm a little scared because I've heard really bad things about the Jane the Virgin companion novel. I'm hoping that the Younger companion novel goes better, and that book Falling Over scared the crap out of me, in case you didn't see my look of panic. Okay. Always Never Yours by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Brokaw. So the story with this is we have Megan. She's kind of starting to get worried because every time she dates somebody and they break up, right after they date her, that person will meet the one. So it's kind of got some always the bridesmaids, never the bride kind of feel to it. And I'm just anticipating a good time here. I think that this one will be fun. Every guy she dates falls madly in love, just not with her. So I think we've all kind of had that feeling, or maybe it's just me, I don't know, had that feeling of there's somebody for everybody but not for me. But yeah, that's not true. I firmly believe there is somebody for everybody. So I'm hoping that I enjoy this book. Okay, next one. So I'm jumping on to a bit of a bandwagon here, and that is with To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I watched the Netflix I watched the Netflix movie, not knowing that it was based on a book. So I was really excited when I found out that it was based on a book, because books are almost always better than their movies. So I was really, really excited to read this. I thought the movie was precious, and if this book is even, half as precious as the movie was, I'm gonna love this, because it was so stinking cute. So I got To All the Boys I've Loved Before. P.S. I Still Love You. And Always and Forever, Laura Jean. Have the whole trilogy. Happy to have them all. I'm sure I'll blow through them very quickly. I love a good romance. You're gonna see a theme as we go on. I think most, if not all, of these books are romances. So next up is Dumplin by Julie Murphy. I am so freaking pumped about this book. Okay, so it follows Willow Dean Dixon, who is nicknamed Dumplin by her former beauty queen mom. And yeah, it's set in Texas. Oh, she enters Miss Teen Bluebonnet. Oh, that's so Texan. I am a Texan. I love all things to do with Texas. I've been promised Texan-y things in this book, and I'm just really, really, really hoping that they don't make us all sound like Hicks, because it makes me sad when they do that. But I don't think that is. So I'm really excited about this book. Again, it sounds like a body positivity book, because in the description it talks about how Willow's thoughts on having an ultimate bikini body is just to put a bikini on your body. Like, yes! In case you can't tell, I'm super pumped about this book. So the premise is that, she's a very body positive individual, but she meets this former jock guy named Bo, and she starts to like him, but then she's surprised when he likes her. So I think it's going to be a kind of interesting commentary on how we can be body positive and comfortable in our own skin when we're single, and then when we start liking somebody or enter a relationship with somebody, it kind of changes how we think about ourselves and can really play with our self-esteem and our vision of our own bodies. Again, highly anticipating liking this book. On to the next one, also by Julie Murphy, Side Effects May Vary. Whew. Okay, so I might be a little in love with Julie Murphy, because this book also sounds freaking great. So essentially, this is the story of Alice. Alice was diagnosed with leukemia, and so she makes this crazy bucket list of all the things she wants to do before she dies, and involves her friend, Harvey, who she knows has feelings for her, in her tale of pettiness. She gets back at her ex-boyfriend, her arch nemesis, all this jazz, and it's just like causing mayhem and being petty, which, I love pettiness. I love it. I live for it. So Essentially, what happens here is Alice goes into remission. She's not dying, and she's done been petty to everybody she knows, and now she gets to deal with the aftermath. And y'all, I am so ready for it. I hope this book can live up to the hype in my head, because that sounds freaking amazing. Next up is Tell Me Three Things by Julie Buxbaum. I've read the description of this several times and cannot decide what this book is about. Essentially, we have Jessie, and she goes to this school and she feels really out of place, and then somehow this person named somebody/nobody, SN for short, starts teaching her the insider ways of this school. I still really do not know what to anticipate here, so this one's going to be a mystery for me. I'll let you know. So next up is One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. This came from Thrift Books, so it is missing its dust jacket, which is sad because I really liked the cover art. But I'm gonna put that down because there's no real point in holding it up. So essentially what I remember from the marketing is that this was set up to be Pretty Little Liars meets The Breakfast Club. I have seen some rant reviews and negative reviews floating around BookTube about this book, so I'm a little nervous now, but I mean, I bought it from Thrift Books, so at least it was cheap. If I hate it, maybe I won't, you know, maybe I'll have a differing opinion. There is always that possibility. So, gonna go into this one cautious, but you never know. Or you could have a rant review coming your way. Next up is In Some Other Life by Jessica Brody. So this isn't actually the copy that I will be reading. It says Advanced Reader Edition, not for sale. So I'm a little mad that Thrift Books sent this to me. It's a little shady of them to sell a book that's not for sale. So yeah, this will not be the copy that I am going to be reading. Thrift Books is kindly sending me a new copy because the unedited, uncorrected proof of this book makes me a little nervous, and you know, I want the real deal. But essentially this is about a girl named Kennedy. Kennedy was offered a spot at a very prestigious school. She turns it down to stay with her best friend and the boy she has a crush on. So fast forward 3 years later, she's dating the boy she had a crush on. She's doing very well at her school, but then she catches said boy cheating on her. So the next day, she falls and hits her head and mysteriously wakes up in the life she could have had if she'd gone to the prestigious school. I'm kind of getting the vibes of, is the life you always thought you could have had what you thought it would be? Like, is it as great as you thought it was going to be? Interested to see what's going to happen here. So, as soon as I get that new copy. So the next book that I'm going to talk about here has been pretty hyped on BookTube. So I've got some high expectations, and that is for Let's Talk About Love by Claire Kahn. This features a asexual main character. I have never read a book from the point of view of an asexual character. I don't know that I've actually ever read a book with an asexual character. A very underrepresented group of people. So super interested to read this book. I love gaining a new perspective, and I hope this was handled well. I have seen some mixed reviews on how asexuality was handled in this book, but again, I've also seen a lot of hype about this book, so I guess I just get to decide for myself. Again, this is another romance kind of story. Alice, the main character, is very sure that she's asexual, but starts having really intense feelings for this other person and kind of questioning her own sexuality, I'm guessing. Yeah, so very, very excited to read this book. Next up is Sway by Kat Spears. So our tagline here is boy meets girl, boy charms girl for someone else. So this is a modern Cyrano de Bergerac retelling. I love a good retelling, but I also think that we have higher standards with retellings. just because, you know, we know how the story is going to go to a certain extent. So in this book, we have Jessie, who is going to be wooing Bridget on behalf of Ken, following that story, that same Cyrano de Bergerac setup. So very interested to see how they put that in a modern perspective. I think this will be pretty cute. And the last book on our list today is going to be A Little Something Different by Sandy Hall. So this is 14 viewpoints of one love story. So essentially we are being told a love story from 14 outsiders' perspectives. And by outsiders, I mean their Starbucks barista, their bus driver, a squirrel. Just from a writing perspective, I'm really interested to see how this goes. Yeah, I think this would be a really cool writing exercise, let alone just a reading experience, to look at one situation from so many viewpoints. In my head, this is just going to be 14 viewpoints of people shipping two people, and I love a good ship, so I'm, again, highly anticipating liking this. Alrighty, so that is my TBR/haul. All my books are now on the shelves. Super excited about that. So as I said, I am probably going to start with To Be Honest, but if you have any recommendations on where I should go from there, by all means, let me know. If what you really loved one of these books, please, please, please let me know down in the comments so I know kind of where to begin. It's a lot of books to get through. I'll probably be reviewing them as I go, if I really love one or just really dislike one. Otherwise, you can check out my reviews on my Goodreads page, which I have linked down in the description. You can also find live tweets of me reading through these books on my Twitter. Sorry for the little bit of shameless self-promotion there, but a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do. That's all for me today. Thank you so much for hanging in with me. I'm Holly, and go read.